everybody, welcome to California Bountiful. I'm your host, Tracy Sellers. And you know, all of these flowers behind me are a sure sign that spring has officially sprung here in California. And did you know that there are more than 250 cut flower growers here in California? There are, but none has quite the story like Kendall Farms does. How special is this place? Well, take a look at the two men running the farm, Jason Kendall and his cousin Troy Connor. Jason was thrust into running the farm when his father passed away in 2004. And for help with the farm, he ended up calling upon his cousin Troy, who was in an occupation about as far away from farming as you could get.
Jason had a lot to take care of and he needed help. And so at the time I was a deputy sheriff up in King County, Washington, and doing the career I had prepared for and went to school and got my degree and doing what I really had planned to do for the rest of my life. But there's some strong appeal. Jason's a pretty good salesman. There's neat things to become a farmer. And so at that point I gave up my career and changed from felons to flowers.
Another example of how unique this farm is their location. Surprisingly, this steep, rough, and rugged terrain in the mountains of San Diego County produces some of the most beautiful and visually stunning flowers you could imagine.
So these guys crawl up and down these hills every day, bringing in the product. In the peak of our season, we can be harvesting as many as 16,000 bunches in one day. You can also see the variety of what we're harvesting from. All these products come from the farm.
Just like when you go to Starbucks, you got your coffee, it's the same every time, and that's what we want to do. So we grade everything out to be the exact same size bunch. So a lot of times I'm out here checking not only for quality but consistency too.
This jagged terrain, along with the desert-like climate of San Diego, provide the perfect conditions for growing Australian and South African flowers. In addition, Kendall Farms is the largest grower of eucalyptus and wax flowers in all of North America. And they are both a grower and shipper of these gorgeous flowers, so they are able to see the process through the entire path, from their farm to your home, and sometimes even their own homes. Being a woman, I have to ask, how often do your wives expect flowers from you guys?
Expect.
Or do you
versus receive.
Versus
right,
receive.
Right.
I would say on every holiday, every anniversary, every birthday,
occasion, whenever guests
parties,
are coming over,
guests.
anytime guests are in the house, if we're going somewhere, we're expected to bring flowers. So it's a pretty long list.
So basically every day that ends with Y.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of expectations. All the product comes from the cooler here and gets packed in the boxes right here.
This product right here, we'll label it with California grown, and this is the product that you'll actually see in the stores.
Okay, so here we're at our sealed loading dock where the product gets loaded into the reefer truck that we have here. It's maintained at that 32 to 34 degrees, loaded in our truck and then out to our customers.
Being a flower farmer in California inherently has its own set of challenges. Mother Nature, lack of water, constant competition from imported flowers. But nothing could prepare Kendall Farms for the challenge they encountered in the fall of 2007.
I got a call from a neighbor that lives up higher up on the hill that was overlooking the farm.
Jason, the farm's on fire.
I got on the dozer and started fighting the fires. Probably 75% or more of the production was taken out, and so that was a pivotal moment. And Jason and I sat in his office. I remember the power was still out.
We're like, we're gonna put this farm back together, and that's what we did. And here we are, many years later, and this farm is cranking now.
But every dark cloud has a silver lining, and so having to practically start from scratch, the cousins were able to do things on the farm they had always wanted to do, but never had the time to. Mainly to farm organically and to implement new sustainable practices on the farm, including installing their own water treatment and recycling program.
The drought that we're in right now, it's on everybody's radar and it's critical, so we have those systems. We recycle water. So just this last year we installed a new system to capture all of our water. After these flowers have been boxed up, every bucket comes back. This is the used water, so we reclaim all that water through the system. So this is our latest reservoir, and this is mainly to capture all our runoff and recycled water that we bring from all parts of the farm. We bring it here, store it, and then treat it and ship it back out into the main irrigation reservoirs throughout the farm.
Today, the farm continues to blossom. It's grown to 500 acres with 1,000 fields in production and is home to more than 125 varieties of flowers and plants. No doubt their success is in part due to the quality of products they grow, but also in part due to the quantity of hard work these charismatic cousins have done to restore their family farm.
It really changed us in many ways, you know, and also brought us closer together, you know, as a family, as a team. You know, we've been through a lot together. When you go through a lot, something like that with people, you know, it just brings you together. Yeah, we're pretty blessed working together. We have a really good relationship, and so it makes a lot of fun. It really makes farming and growing here a lot of fun. It would be a lot harder to do it without him.
Not gonna lie, it was a challenging period, and to sit here, standing on top of this hill right now, looking over some of the fields that were just completely scorched and barren, to see, you know, we're harvesting here in this field today, is fantastic. It's very rewarding.
And stay with us, because coming up next, we have all the details on a springtime favorite that's straight ahead.
Closed captioning of California Bountiful is provided by Agriculture Liquid Fertilizers. Producing better crops with better fertilizers, it's better for California.
In the nation, what's precious to you is precious to us. And from your family to your belongings to your dreams for retirement, we're here to protect what you love most. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
To learn more about the Nation, where Farm Bureau members can save on their auto insurance, call 877-ON-YOUR-SIDE or visit www.nationwide.com today.
Hi, my name is John Ledbetter. I work at Boca Nova Restaurant in Jack London Square, Oakland, California. I love cooking with simple ingredients, seasonal ingredients. I like using the right things at the right times, and I like to do 10 ingredients or less, preferably always. What we do in this business is we highlight food. And you can't highlight food unless you're using the best of what you can get. And if you can't do that, you should either try to do it or you should go do something else.
Welcome back to California Bountiful. Well, you can see we've moved locations. We're inside here at my neighborhood market, which is the beautiful Bel Air here in Sacramento, and we're talking about asparagus. Did you know it's great tasting and good for you? It is, according to the nutrition professor. You recognize her from the show, Timmy Hagenberger. So why are these guys so good for us?
Well, they are packed with health-promoting phytonutrients.
Phytonutrients.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Yes, they are. So
like
they are nutrient dense, which means lots of nutrients for a little bit of calories. I mean, like only 4 calories a stock.
So you could eat this whole thing, really?
Without, if you wanted to. So they're high in fiber, but the specific phytonutrients will help with your digestive system, just keeping it running well. And will even get to the little tiniest of our blood vessels, the little capillaries, and strengthen those walls.
That's amazing. That's a great thing. So how do we pick out good asparagus?
So we want to look for stalks that are nice and plump. We don't want them to start twisting or shriveling up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this looks really good. And then we want tightly packed top, the tips, to be really tightly packed and not wet yet or slimy. So these are drying out.
And these are a little frayed. They've had a stressful day.
No, we want this dark color.
Dark color, so you can even see the difference.
You can, absolutely. Now we want to keep them wet, like flowers. You either can take a wet paper towel and wrap that around the bottoms, or actually put it in a vase, like flowers, in the fridge.
That's a great idea.
It'll keep them much fresher.
I was gonna say, how long will they stay in the fridge like that?
Oh, several days. You want to use them, as quickly as you can.
Like anything.
Exactly. But if you keep them in water, they will retain the moisture, which is going to keep them fresh.
That's great. So now that we know that asparagus is good for us, how do we cook with it? Well, here's one idea.
Hi, welcome to the JW Marriott San Francisco. I'm Chef Ben Mattman, and this is the Level 3 Kitchen. Today I'm going to prepare for you a dish of grilled Delta asparagus with some Italian pancetta and toasted pine nuts. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our asparagus. I've peeled them down nicely. I'm going to drizzle it with a little bit of oil. Season it with a little salt, pepper. Give it a nice squeeze of fresh lemon. I'm going to dress these all up nicely so they're nicely coated. Then we're going to move them over to a grill. I've got the grill set at medium temperature. We're going to lay these asparagus on here and give them a nice char. Now we're going to make the dressing for the asparagus. We've got some pancetta, which is Italian style bacon. Dice it up nice and small. When you start to see the fat rendering out of the pancetta, it's starting to take on some color. We're going to add about a half a fine diced shallot. Maybe half a teaspoon of chopped garlic. Get the flavors out of the shallots and the garlic. Deglaze the pan with some champagne vinegar. Spoon the dressing over the grilled asparagus and garnish with some frisee salad, lemon juice, a little bit of parsley, extra virgin olive oil, and some toasted pine nuts. And here we have it, warm grilled asparagus salad with crispy pancetta and toasted pine nuts. Hope to see you soon at the JW Marriott San Francisco.
Thanks, Ben. If you'd like to make that recipe at home, and I suggest you do because it's really good, then you can check out all the details at our website, CaliforniaBountiful.com. And stay with us because there is a lot more show still to come.
My name is Patrick Mulvaney, and my wife Bobbin and I own Mulvaney's Building and Loan. It's a restaurant, banquet hall, and a catering facility here in Sacramento, California. Focus on local, seasonal food. So our menu changes every day, and it all depends on what the farmer brings in the front door. Every day brings a new excitement here because of the farmers that are around here. Everybody brings it in here to our restaurant so that we can put it on a fork, and our guests get to enjoy it.
Fresh, ripe, and a super easy snack, this time of the year, nothing says straight from California more than a fresh apricot. After all, the Golden State does produce about 90% of the apricots grown in the United States, and there are more varieties than ever to choose from, including this one, the Candycot apricot, which comes from John Driver's farm in Stanislaus County.
These look really good. These are You can see these are clean fruit, nice. They're just starting to ripen. They still have green on them. We won't pick anything if there's any green on them.
And John knows a few things about picking just the right apricot. That's because in addition to farming, he spent much of his career working as a plant breeder, and specifically with apricots. So in 2001, he decided to put his knowledge about the fruit to the test and bred together seeds from some of the best apricots he could find. Then he teamed up with friend and fellow farmer Chris Britton to plant a test plot of 10 acres with about 275 trees to see what kind of apricot they could grow together.
No, John's been great. John is John's a geneticist by trade. That's his background.
Well, what I say is please taste them. I think that if I can get this candy cut in someone's mouth, is that it's not a question of whether or not they will buy.
What the duo ended up with was something no one else had on the market, a super sweet apricot which was so intensely flavorful and sweet it tasted like something they called nature's candy, so they aptly named the apricot a candycot. They are able to achieve the added sweetness in the fruit by leaving it on the tree for a longer period of time, and because of that, the fruit must be handled with the utmost care so it doesn't bruise or scar before it gets to the consumer. So instead of running the apricots through a packing line, the delicate fruit is individually placed in these specially made foam packages. It's just one of the special nuances of the especially sweet fruit that John tries to educate consumers about each week as he takes his grassroots marketing campaign to the shoppers at the Ferry Plaza Farmers Market in San Francisco.
What we have here is that is education of the consumer that these apricots are very high sugar, and with high sugar apricots, you happen to have some spotting on the skin. It actually starts to dry on the tree, and as a result, you get these spots. These are tree ripe, so they're really ready to go.
Really terrific, very unusual. Well, you know, I got these for the first time last year. Strolled by, saw them by accident, saw the name, thought it sounded kind of gimmicky, thought it was going to be somehow apricots with sugar added, but they were the best fruit I'd ever tasted in my life, and I brought them home, and by the time I came back to the market the next week, gone.
We're still real small.
The duo have also enlisted the help of their local community to get the word out about their stone fruit, like local chef Brian Ehrenholm of Modesto's Pure Joy Bakery and Lunch Pail Cafe.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are these the candy cots?
Yep. So this is an Anya.
Okay.
So we picked these this morning. Picking these basically for cooking for you.
Because of their natural sweetness, Brian says he is able to use the candy cut apricots not only in sweet concoctions at the bakery, but also in savory dishes at the cafe as well.
Gentlemen, this is a California lamb taco, and it's got a radish and jicama slaw, and then it's featuring the candy cut pico de gallo on top. I just couldn't believe the taste. I really couldn't. Chris brought them to us and we were just like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. Candy Cots is a new apricot that's being developed here in the Central Valley. Really sweet, and it's about 3 times the sugar, so we paired it with a fresh California lamb and a little jicama and radish slaw on the bottom.
After a decade of trying, this dynamic duo of stone fruit are finally ready to deem their experimental planting a success, and are even looking to plant more trees this year as they look towards a future of hopefully many sweet rewards.
We've had a blast. We love seeing something kind of go from nothing to where it is today, which is not much more than nothing, but we're still in the process of developing it. So we're having a great time developing the varieties. It's fun to take something to market that nobody has.
And if you're not quite hungry yet, well then we have one more recipe for you. It's coming up straight ahead. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is John Ledbetter. I work at Boca Nova Restaurant in Jack London Square, Oakland, California. I love cooking with simple ingredients, seasonal ingredients. I like using the right things at the right times, and I like to do 10 ingredients or less, preferably always. What we do in this business is we highlight food. And you can't highlight food unless you're using the best of what you can get. And if you can't do that, you should either try to do it or you should go do something else.
Welcome back to California Bountiful. So what do you get when you take the cuisine of Napa Valley and mix it with the flavors of Central Mexico? Well, you get the inspiration for what Chef Chris Mortensen is making for us here.
Hi, this is Chris from La Condesa Restaurant. We're going to make a chopped salad today. It's going to be super great, and we're going to start by making the mustard vinaigrette that we put on it. I'm going to start with some Dijon mustard. A little in the bowl. And we have a great local Napa white balsamic vinegar. I've already pre-juiced some lime juice. We're going to use a lot of lime juice in this too. This is going to be super, super simple. You're just going to mix up your mustard, your lime juice, and white balsamic vinegar. Put some salt in here. This is Malden salt. I like it with enough salt, so I'm going to go ahead and put a lot. Love salt. Let me grab my oil. Just put in the oil, kind of slowly. Kind of slowly. You don't want to pour it all in at once. You don't have to take forever either. And you're basically there. I think you can see this vinaigrette's got a little thickness to it. Very, very easy to make. And it looks great. You can do this in front of your guests and they're going to be like, wow! All right. So you're pretty much there on that. I'm going to put a little black pepper in this because I like that. All right, the vinaigrette is ready. Now, not much to a salad, pretty simple. All you're doing is just assembling ingredients together. But it's good to have your salad ingredients pre-done if you're going to have a party or whatever, you know. We're going to start with arugula. Love arugula. Some shredded cabbage, which I shredded ahead of time. We want to use all of the cucumber too. There's no point in wasting beautiful local cucumber that somebody grew out of the ground. Once again, just cut it nicely, easily. And as I said, if you're going to have a party at your house, have people involved. It's something, you know, that's something to do. Cucumbers go in the salad. I like green beans. I blanch these green beans. Once again, a local product right now. They're just coming in. Just cut them a couple times. Nice and easy. I like to put jicama in it. We're going to put some jicama. Jicama, not really a challenge. Pretty easy to use. Just cut off the top and bottom. Cut it with your knife so that when you're done cutting it, you've got a little bit left. Don't trip out about, you know, leaving too much on the skin. And you can just pull the rest off. One can also do that, though you really shouldn't do it in your hand like that. Pretty easy to work with. And jicama is great. Jicama is somewhere between a potato and an apple in texture and flavor. Not a ton of flavor in a jicama. A little bit sweet, but it's nice crunchy texture, you know? Great for a salad like this. Don't cut it in too big of chunks. Your guests are gonna be like, can't eat it, what am I supposed to do with this? I like to take off the end piece so I get more of a dice, you know, that's a nice square. Pretty straightforward stuff. Put that in your salad. Nice and easy. If we can get avocados, if they're in season, we like to put some avocados. Get the pit out of there. Just like that. Throw it across the table like that. Turn her over. Totally easy. A lot of people are challenged by avocados, but you don't have to be. And once again, you're just cutting it up. It's how we do it in La Condesa. As I said, if you're going to do it in your dinner party at the house, you know, you have to make a big deal out of it. Little corn. I took the corn off the cob to make it easier to use. How do you want to do this at your house? Very simple. You want to take your corn, take the green part off of the outside. That's it. Super easy to use. But fresh corn makes all the difference. Get some of the fibers out of there. What else? Well, we're looking pretty good. We're going to take the vinaigrette, the mustard vinaigrette. Pour it right on top. All right, here we are. You're good to go. Come on down to La Condesa. Have a nice mixed salad. Super easy to do. See ya.
Thanks, Chris. As always, you can find that recipe along with all the others you've seen on the show today at our website, CaliforniaBountiful.com. And breaking news, California Bountiful is now on Instagram, so be sure to check that out. We have some behind-the-scenes photos and a sneak peek of what you might see on the show, so check it out if you get a second. And we'll see you again next week on California Bountiful.